Okay guys, so we start by opening the Remix IDE and going to the plugin manager. Okay, once you click on the plugin manager, you're going to use the search bar to get Digit or Digit. Okay, there are going to be two options there. We're going to select the first one. Initially the button is green, but once you select it, it's going to turn gray. We can verify that Digit is up and running because there's going to be that little icon on your left side telling you that he's following all the stuff that you're going to do inside Remix. Now we go to GitHub, and underneath our profile pic we are going to scroll down on that menu and we're going to go to settings. We select settings, and once inside of settings we are going to scroll down all the way to developer settings. We click on developer settings, and now we are going to select a personal access token, which is basically the key that Remix needs to communicate with GitHub. Okay. Now we must click on the Generate New Token button and select Generate New Token Classic. We must confirm our access, put in the password. Okay, and once we're inside, well, it's a good practice to always, be leaving behind notes to know what we're doing. Basically, this would be the name of the token and what's it accessing. We select our expiration date. You can put it forever, like no expiration. And we have to define the scope of that access token. Just select repo, and that's about it. Generate token, and well, as I said, he's always, he's going to want you to describe what that token's for, so I just put there like example, and now we generate the token. Okay, you're going to be able to see a list of all the tokens that you've been generating. And that's why it's important to leave behind that little note in order to know what token belongs to what repository. Now we create a new repository. Press the new repository button. I hope you all know how to do this, but in case you don't, well, basically you just name the new repository. Linking, it's like a good practice to have some name that would remind you of what you want to work with in Remix. Okay, you put just a small description of what's going to be inside that new repository. We leave it public, okay, and it's nice to initiate the repository adding a README file, license, and create repository. Okay, there's our repository, mastery classes. Sorry, it's in Spanish because I just finished to do the Web3 mastery lessons and all that. Okay, back to Remix. So now we have to go to Remix settings, and we have to paste that token key. See, GitHub access token, and you just copy and paste your token there. Fill in the username and your email associated with your GitHub account, and we save it. Okay, now you just work like you've always done with Remix. This was just a little example of a smart contract for creating an ERC20 token. And click on the digit button, that little icon on your left. You're going to see all the files that have been followed by digit, and you can see that there are two letters there, a U and an M. U stands for unaltered or something like that, and M is being modified, unmodified and modified, just so that you can keep track of which files have been updated and which haven't. Okay, so just go to GitHub settings just to check up that everything's in order. You see your token is set up and your email and username are set up also. Okay, as you can see, once we go back to GitHub, we have to copy the URL that's going to be the pathway from Remix, from whatever we're doing with our files, to the GitHub repository. And we just paste it right. Okay, we leave that with the main branch and all that. And where it says git remote, name, origin, and URL, you paste your URL of your repository there. Okay. We initiate the repository, and now we add the remote access. There you go. Well, we're almost done. Now, all we have to do is select the files that we want to push to that repository in particular. Okay? So you can add them. I would suggest to add each file one by one, because you can tag along a message describing what kind of file is that one that you're pushing to your repository. And if you do it like in several files at a time, well, there's just one message, so you're not going to be able to keep track of all the things that you push. Okay, so once again, excuse me for writing in Spanish, but this was initially made for the Spanish group, but you get it. Okay, git commit. And then we go to clone, push, pull, and remotes. Okay, and we just tell them to push those files into our GitHub repository. And that's about it. If we check our GitHub repository, that contract file appears as new because we just pushed it in. And well, that's it, folks. Hope you enjoyed the video, and remember to keep those KPIs up. Thank you for listening.